Three, two, one, everybody. Shh.
Hi everyone, my name is Nguyen, and I will present about public commemoration. I got this topic by combining the book Diep, which is about Selena's posthumous iconization, and the article of Memory and Our Democracy, in which Colin Powell argues the importance of memorials. Hence, both of these are about deaths and how the public responds to them. Hence, the topic, public commemoration. There are countless contemporary and historical examples of deaths uniting people in a shared mourning, such as the death of Queen Elizabeth, the death of Lion Payne, a famous singer, and the 9/11 anniversary day, in which Americans come together to mourn the loss of fallen victims and social service workers through the September 11th attack. The effect of public commemoration uniting society in a shared mourning is a historically recurring pattern. In addition, the rise of the internet, along with the rapid diffusion of information and concepts such as celebrity culture and parasocial relationships, will only amplify the impact that death news has on global audience, making this phenomenon increasingly prevalent in today's society. However, an article published in the Scientific American by Sanderson reports that most public grief only focus on the death of close ones, such as family, spouses, or friends, with little research on the effect of public grief, despite this being a very prevalent phenomenon in the world. Therefore, in an attempt to address this gap in research, I explored the research question. What role does public commemoration play in uniting society? To clarify, public commemoration is not only induced in the cases of influential deaths, such as that of a celebrity or a public figure. It is also induced in the aftermath of disasters with a high fatality rate, such as wars, natural disasters, and so on. Firstly, I will explore the effect of commemorating death events, the effect of commemorating influential deaths, then address counter-arguments, come to a conclusion, and then assess the implications and limitations of that conclusion. Firstly, shared mourning unites a shaken community in the aftermath of collective trauma. Auden and Ryan explains that commemorative events does so by opening up a space where people can collectively express and process the shared emotions that they feel. In the aftermath of such events, everybody will feel intense psychological pain, and having a place where they can bond over that shared sadness and offer mutual commiseration will greatly strengthen social bonds in addition to helping with recovery. However, Hardin and Ryan's research was conducted as a case study of a shooting event at a university, Virginia Tech. This is a unique context because the university is a tight-knit and largely age-matched community, and this cannot be generalized to all other settings. Therefore, this raises the question of can this effect be observed at a national or global scale? In the article of Memory and Our Democracy, Colin Powell writes that war memorials teach us much about the ideas that unite us in our diversity and the values that sustain us in times of trial. This analysis reveals another function of public commemoration, and that is to draw on the shared history, experiences, pain, and loss that Americans feel in order to strengthen the national identity. For a nation politically diverse, ethnically, and culturally diverse as America, having an emphasis on the shared identity will greatly will blur or division between different groups in society and promote social cohesion. Therefore, commemorative events is important because it opens up a crucial space for recovery and also strengthen social bonds. Next, I will shift from the death of a large number of people to the death of an influential individual. Recognizing a prominent individual is a source of pride for the community in which that individual belongs to. American critic Paredes writes that Selena's mainstream success not only show a collective promise for the Latina future, but her posthumous popularity also opened up space for the representation of working class brown women and make visible traditionally ignored Latina history. This means that a community is greatly linked to prominent individuals that represent them, and therefore, when the media attention focuses on Selena, it not only focuses on her life and story, but it also draws attention to the Latin community and affirms its growing presence in the U.S. This makes them feel seen and overall promotes cultural appreciation between different groups in society. A journalist by the New York Times, Amy Patnani, created the project Overlooked based on this principle. It is a series of obituaries dedicated to people of color and women whose contributions went overlooked by society. Researchers Boyce and Duep commended initiatives by Overlooked, saying that it not only momentarily elevates the women and people of color, but it also opens up broader conversation about equity and representation, as well as increased, and therefore initiatives like Overlooked and public commemoration is a worthwhile for community to pursue because it increases social cohesion between different groups of society. However, some researchers such as Kornhaber have raised concerns that controversial deaths may cause division rather than unity, specifically in the realm of popular culture. Rappers who died of contentious deaths involving alcohol toxification or drug abuse will inevitably prompt polarizing effects because it is a sensitive issue. Most likely debates between fans mourning the death of their celebrity and the public who disapproves of the celebrity's problematic lifestyle. However, other perspective says that public mourning are less about the celebrity's personal lives and the manners of their death and more about their symbolic importance. Lawson analyzes that mourning celebrities is more a form of nostalgia spent on their own youth than personal compensation for the musicians that have never actually met. This is because the public tend to overlook who the celebrity is at the time of their deaths and focus on celebrating their artistic contributions and their enduring legacy by commemorating their deaths. Therefore, I come to the conclusion that public commemoration has important societal functions and therefore should be institutionally supported. This can be in the forms of death anniversaries, national holidays, or monuments such as monuments and memorials, so people can come and publicly mourn for the deaths of influential deaths and death events. In an increasingly polarized world, having opportunities where people can come together and bond is important. Such practices can be seen around the world, such as most commonly in the form of national holidays, such as the Memorial Day in the US, the Remembrance Day in the UK, and the death anniversary of a great leader in Vietnam. This shows that public commemoration is important across all cultures and nations. However, the solution is not without limitations. Specifically, some researchers have raised skepticism regarding the longevity of the unifying effect caused by public commemoration. Nguyen and colleagues wrote that the created solidarity in a case study of the Black Lives Movement. Nguyen and colleagues writes that the observed solidarity only lasted briefly. And this directly challenges my recommendation that public commemoration should be supported. Further research should focus on the topic of longevity of the unifying effect of public commemoration. Here are the images cited and the work cited. Thank you for listening.
Very nice.